Sometimes the things look very unreal, and that's one of the things I'm seeing right off the bat. There's two different colors on it, or two different shades, or two different hues on this. And there's something broken or scratched or on the bottom that you move. I don't know what it is.
My name is Brian Corcoran, and I brought a helmet that I found in the Nevada desert. Looked like a desert trailer park, almost like something you'd see in Breaking Bad, that a tornado had gone through several times, and just twisted metal everywhere. And
also I see a big capital M, which to me feels like a name. I don't believe this is the name of the person bringing it in, unless it's a last name, but I do feel like there is someone there that is bringing that in, and I will probably get that name when the person comes in.
I've never seen a psychic before. I like to consider myself an open-minded cynic. You know, I think if there is an aura around me, or if there is anyone from the other side that wants to not even talk to me, probably just poke fun at me, it would be my pal Mavis, who passed away a few years ago. But you know, I also feel like good luck naming somebody with a grandmother's name.
My name is Kelly Elson, and I am a psychic medium. I first knew I was a medium at the age of 13 when I had a dream about losing some of my friends, and I woke to find they'd died in a car accident. Now I use these abilities to help other people to find answers that they can't find anywhere else. The dead are not here to say goodbye. They are here to say hello. Well, I get a feeling you brought a helmet for me to look at today.
I have indeed brought a helmet.
Well, you know, one of the interesting feelings I had a few moments ago was that this was something that that you just look at, something that's not in use. So chances are you don't use this anymore, as far as I can see. Was this ever in something that was videotaped or televised, or was there anything like that that went on with this that you are aware of?
Now, it's interesting. I'm not fully aware of its history.
Okay.
So a lot of that's going to be a mystery.
Okay.
But I came across it while I was working, looking for locations to film.
Okay.
So it was tied to filming through that. It was through a location search that I found it.
Okay. One of the other feelings that I had was that you were a collector of things, but not precisely this object. So you don't have other helmets. You're not someone who just looks for helmets. Is that correct?
I am a collector. You are. I think maybe my girlfriend might say hoarder.
So this is something that you found while you were scouting a set.
Yes.
Okay. Do you have any other helmets?
Well, I do ride motorcycles, so I do have a couple of modern helmets.
Okay.
Generally with a modern helmet, after 5 years you retire them because they're not safe anymore. So I have functional modern helmets, but this is the only vintage weird old helmet that I have.
Okay, all right. And this is something you plan on keeping?
I think so. I think part of that depends on what you have to say. Only because I love it. My girlfriend is a little bit creeped out by it.
Right. Well, she might be for good reason, because there's a couple of things I get a feeling around with this. One of the things, interestingly, I can see about it, I don't know how to explain it, but even though it's a motorcycle helmet, I can see it in a vehicle, and I can see it in a wrecked vehicle. So I don't know if it, in fact, was in a vehicle with someone who passed away. I don't know if it was worn while someone was racing in a car. I really don't know what that is, but that's one of the things I can see, is a lot of broken, damaged metal. I don't certainly feel like anyone passed away while wearing this. I don't get that sense about it. One of the other feelings I had, which is kind of interesting, that I want to try to understand why I had this sense, was that this was something that you didn't just find somewhere. I had a sense that this was something that had some strong sentimental value to you. So I don't know how to reconcile that exactly. And I guess I should first ask you if you'd be interested in knowing anything about any people that may have come in with you today. Yep. And this isn't the only helmet I'm seeing sitting here today, which is kind of interesting. So would that be okay if I was to bring something else into the conversation here?
Yeah.
This is where I start to just I might just look at the empty spot beside you for just a moment. One of the first feelings or senses that I get coming in around you would be a male that would be sitting directly to your right. This would be someone that's in your age group. This is not someone that is the age of your father or grandfather. This would be someone that would be in your age group. He has a motorcycle helmet with him. It's red. One of the feelings I had earlier was that there was an M name that was coming in around someone. And Matthew was the first name that came to my mind earlier. Now, this would be someone I would feel did pass very quickly. This would also be someone I would feel has been gone for a few years. And he's twirling a wedding ring. So this could mean that he's connected to someone that you are in a relationship with. You don't have to literally be married. This could also mean that he's someone that was married into your family, or someone who had a wife or was engaged when he passed away. He certainly does not feel to me like someone who passed from old age. So, and do you understand who the younger man might be?
Yeah, I know exactly who that is.
You do, okay. Yeah. And one of the things he's acknowledging right away, so this is someone that was around you long before you arrived here today. And he is acknowledging that he's made contact with you already. So there's two things that can be, of course, you have had a direct sense or a feeling of him being around, or you visited another medium, or you've had someone else tell you that he is around you. He's very cool and he's very chill. And you would also want me to say that he's very cute. So he definitely has a sense of humor. Do you understand the helmet that he would have around, or is he acknowledging, do you have a red helmet?
No, I don't have a red helmet, and I'm trying to remember, he had many helmets.
He did, okay.
And I'm trying to remember if the day he passed away, he finished riding across Vietnam on a motorcycle.
Okay.
And I can't remember if he wore a red helmet on that trip or not.
Okay.
Regardless of the helmet color, his name is Matthew.
Okay, wonderful.
And so he didn't die riding a motorcycle, but the day that he finished riding across Vietnam, he passed away.
He passed away.
Yeah.
Okay.
His birth name was Matthew. Everyone, had a nickname.
You have a nickname?
Yeah.
What was his nickname?
Mavis.
Okay, wonderful. Yeah. So another M name, but certainly I wouldn't think to call a guy Mavis.
No, and it's funny, when I came in here today, and I'll be the first to admit I'm not terribly religious. I tend to be a cynic more often than not, but I also like to think that I'm open-minded. So coming in here today, I felt as though the only person that really has passed recently that had a profound effect on me, and that I truly felt a profound loss in recent years was Mavis.
Yes.
And I from the get-go I was kind of nervous to come in here and speak with you, because I was in some ways afraid of either you being way off the mark and not having any connection, but I was also equally afraid that you'd drill right down on that and not sure how I would react.
Absolutely.
Because I miss him dearly, but it's extraordinary that not only did you really get it with the motorcycles and the connection there, but also he's quite cheeky, and he's
very cheeky.
Yeah,
and he is cute. I'm always looking to fit those puzzle pieces together, and it's funny, as a psychic, as an intuitive, it's to me it's not about figuring out whether I was right or not. That's for other people to do. But now I understand the sentimental feeling toward the item. It had to do with the person that was here around you, his connection to the motorcycles, his connection to the helmets, and not necessarily your direct connection to this object here. The unfortunate thing in some cases is that there is no way to find out that if this was in any kind of a wreck. But I would like to thank you for being open, for coming in, for bringing this here, for sharing your story and your friend with us. One of the things to remember about them is even when they pass away accidentally, we do have concepts of what closure is. And we often are led to believe that when someone passes accidentally, when they leave in a tragic kind of a way, that they aren't at peace. But I'll leave you with an analogy. Every person here is like an actor on stage. And when that actor goes in, they kind of go in with a script and they have a role. When they step off stage, even if they've just been hit by a train on stage, when they step off stage, they aren't affected by that in the way we would think they are. They are all fundamentally okay when they get to the other side. It's just a little more chaotic when they have to go quickly. It's kind of like getting 24 hours to move.
Yeah.
But they do, their message has always been that they're okay one way or another. Once they get there, they recognize that they left the stage precisely when they were supposed to, in the way that they were supposed to, and they have a sense of peace.
Of all the names in the world, she threw one out, and that was a home run. I mean, that was a grand slam home run.
Now, I had a sense of such a strong emotional connection to this helmet. And when we got talking about it, I was surprised that Brian actually had no real history with this helmet until I saw Matt sitting beside him holding a helmet. And I realized that what I was probably picking up on was the emotions and feelings of this man coming through on the other side, and what apparently was his love of being on motorcycles. So it was a transference of energy of sorts. This particular helmet wasn't of that much sentimental value to Brian, but the person around him on the other side had a sentimental connection.
In my own way, I feel like I take Mavis with me wherever I go just because he's in my memory and he's a good pal. So the idea of him being next to me, it doesn't scare me, it doesn't freak me out. I think it's kind of hilarious. I still leave here a cynic. Like, I'm not totally converted, but you have to give credit where credit's due, and she pulled one name out of a hat, and that name was a home run.
My goal is just to make people think. I'm not here to convince them that what I'm doing is real or right. And what I'm here to do is just share a process with them. And if it causes them to, if that brings them to a space where they're thinking more expansively, then to me, I've done what I've needed to do.